When I was a teen, I struggled quite a lot with small talk and meeting new people. In fact, I felt as if there were a certain rule book everyone was aware of but no one wanted to share. And as I was growing and building my confidence, I came to the realization that I was correct. There was a rule book, and that's what this video is going to be about. I'm going to share the ultimate guide of small talk for introverts. Before we're going to get started, I know that small talk has earned its reputation as a shallow form of conversation, and you might want to avoid it because of that. I definitely feel you. I was in that position and I used to avoid small talk so much that I gave up on meeting new people altogether, which was definitely unhealthy, but we're not gonna talk about it. What I'm trying to say is that small talk is an essential part of life. Whether you're at work or in school, you will have to interact with people. And this short chit chat is simply there to help you maintain social relations. On top of that, if you want to build more meaningful connections, then small talk is the first step to do that. So, if you want to talk about something that's important to you, you will have to go through all these shallow topics first. Let's start with the basics. How do you approach a person? So I'm gonna get very technical here. There are two types of approaching a new person, with preparation and without preparation. And generally speaking, I think it's totally fine to approach a new person sort of out of the blue. You can literally walk up to them, introduce yourself, say that you're their classmate, co-worker, neighbor, a friend of a friend of a friend, whatever, and start the conversation from there. Ask something related to the introduction you just made. You can ask them about their work, you can ask them about their recent study project, or how long they've been living in the city you're living in. Anything that's related to this common ground you might have. Or if you're meeting someone totally new, for example, you're going on a blind date, then you can start a conversation by asking the person what they do in life. And another type of approaching would be with preparation. What it means is that you might already know a certain detail about the person or have a certain question in mind for them. So you can start with that. You can bring up something work or study related. You can mention that you saw your neighbor's dog and you think it looks really cute. Or you might even say that you've been meaning to approach the person for a really long time because you think that they're interesting and cool, and that would be your opener. Now that we've established our interlocutor of choice, let's move on to the topics. As you know, when it comes to small talk, there are certain topics that should be avoided. Things like health, politics, religion, and philosophy to a degree should be left out of the conversation. So, what can you discuss if you don't want to discuss the weather the whole day? You can talk about vacation, traveling, holidays. You can talk about hobbies. Hobbies, in my opinion, is a great way to know the person a little bit better. You can talk about sports. You can talk about pets. You can talk about plans. I personally divide these topics into two subcategories. If I talk to my coworkers, then I would normally stick to holidays, vacation plans, traveling, and a bit of sports. On the other hand, if I want to build more meaningful relationships, then I would choose something more personal, like hobbies or movies or music taste. It's definitely a personal preference and you don't have to stick to it, but feel free to use the same framework if you need to differentiate between a more shallow and more deep relationships. Now, a pro tip on how to make small talk more fun for you and your conversation partner. Ask questions. I know I used to make this small talk mistake. I used to hate it because I felt the pressure to say something about myself. But in reality, all you have to do is to ask questions and follow up questions. For example, how is the project X you've been working on for a while? How did you meet this common friend of ours? How do you like this course we both attending? And then ask them why. Why do you like or dislike a certain project, course, a certain type of work, or even a city? I feel like this works exceptionally well with hobbies or sports because, as you know, people enjoy talking about what's important to them. The beauty of this tip or trick is that it allows you to go a level deeper, and what used to be a seemingly shallow conversation can turn into a beautiful and meaningful one. And now, on to a surprising rule of small talk that I personally learned very recently. Let your personality shine. The thing is, you really don't need to put a mask on. Whether we're talking about making silly jokes, or giving examples from your own experience, or even saying straight out of the way that you're not sure whether you're doing the whole thing right, it's all good. Most people appreciate the courage it takes to be yourself and the relatability that comes with it. Pauses. Pauses are very important, but so are they tricky to get. Simply because the length of it will vary depending on the person's personality and background. So make sure to pay close attention to pauses and adjust your speed when necessary. If you notice that the person you're talking to needs more time to finish what they're about to say, give them that time and space. But if they jump from one topic to another very quickly, try to speed up as well. You are the master of small talk and not the other way around, so feel free to adapt it to your own needs. Take as many introversion breaks as you need. Meet only as many people as you can handle. While small talk is an essential part of life, it doesn't mean that you have to be doing it 24/7. So try not to exhaust yourself and take it easy. Finally, remember it takes two to tango. No matter how much effort you will be putting into meeting someone new, they might not be doing the same for you. They might simply be boring or not such a nice person after all. In that case, the best thing you can do is to save yourself some time and move on. You can use that time later onto someone who's actually willing to get to know you.